Apple has just announced WWDC 2024 for this June, and this year we're expecting a lot for WWDC. WWDC is all about where we're going to see the newest Apple software updates like iOS, iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, tvOS, and visionOS. And this year, it's going to be a big year for software. First, iOS 18. iOS 18 is expected to be one of, if not the biggest update in the history of the iPhone. iOS 18 is expected to have a revamped design, the first time since iOS 7 that we've had a new design for iOS. It won't be as big of a change like iOS 6 to iOS 7, but it will be the biggest design change for iOS since then. iOS 18 may take some inspiration from visionOS, but it won't be a complete copy of visionOS. iOS 18 will also have a massive focus on AI, with some major AI features implemented across iOS. Apple is even talking with Google to implement Google Gemini across iOS. iOS 18 will also finally add RCS support for the iPhone. RCS will allow for better communication to Android users, such as higher quality images and video, read receipts, messaging over Wi-Fi, and more. And even with all of these changes, iOS 18 is expected to support all the same devices as iOS 17. That includes the iPhone XS, XS Max, and XR. Next, iPadOS 18. iPadOS 18 is expected to receive a lot of the major changes from iOS 18, but we don't know exactly what iPad exclusive features the iPad will get with iPadOS 18, but we could make some other guesses. The standby feature from iOS 17 could make its way to iPadOS 18, and we could also see some multitasking updates, like updates to Stage Manager. We could also see Apple utilize their AI features in iPadOS 18 to improve drawing with the Apple Pencil, and maybe some other changes. We don't know a ton about iPadOS 18, but it's most likely going to be just as big of an upgrade as iOS 18. It'll support any iPad with an A12 Bionic chip or newer. iPads with an A10 or A10X Fusion chip will be dropped. Next, macOS 15. Of course, macOS will have a new California name. I'm personally betting on macOS Sequoia. macOS 15 will also have a big focus on AI, but design changes are unlikely until macOS 16. Apple has actually teased AI features coming to the Mac with macOS 15. In the press release for the M3 MacBook Air, Apple highlighted the fact that the M3 MacBook Air is the world's best consumer laptop for AI, most likely hinting at the fact that macOS 15 will have some big AI features coming our way. However, the AI features might be exclusive to Macs with Apple Silicon. Intel Macs may not get any of the AI features. And this may also be the last macOS update to support any Intel Macs. macOS 16 may be exclusively Apple Silicon. Next, watchOS 11. watchOS already got a massive upgrade with watchOS 10 last year, so watchOS 11 might not add a lot. It may also get some of the AI features, but those AI features may be exclusive to the Apple Watch Series 9 and Ultra 2 because they have more powerful neural engines. watchOS 11 is also going to pave the way for the biggest hardware update to the Apple Watch ever, with the Apple Watch Series 10 coming this fall. But we don't know much else about watchOS 11. It may still support the same watches as watchOS 10. Next, tvOS 18. We haven't heard much about tvOS 18, but we could make some guesses as well. Just like iOS and iPadOS 18, we could see some UI updates make their way to tvOS 18, and perhaps some of the AI features as well. But we haven't heard really anything else, or anything about tvOS 18 at all. So as of right now, we can only guess. Next, visionOS 2. This is the first time ever that we're going to hear about a new visionOS release at a WWDC. M1 Astra revealed that Apple is indeed testing visionOS 2 and that we will see it this year. As for what's coming, again, we can only guess. Just like all of the other software here, AI is most likely going to be the center point. We could also see Apple allow you to reorganize your home screen in visionOS, as you can't do that right now in visionOS 1. We will also most likely see some updates to the digital personas, more environments, more native apps in visionOS, and of course some new APIs to take advantage of visionOS and Apple Vision Pro. Again, we don't know exactly what's coming with visionOS 2, but we will see it with some notable improvements. It is worth noting that before WWDC, Apple is expected to release Apple Vision Pro in more countries outside of the US. So whatever Apple adds to visionOS 2 will be available to a lot more people. Last up, hardware. WWDC isn't a hardware-focused event, but the last two WWDCs have had some sort of new hardware. 2022 saw the release of the M2 chip powering the MacBook Air and 13-inch MacBook Pro. 2023 was when we saw the 15-inch MacBook Air, M2-powered Mac Studio and Mac Pro, and of course, the Apple Vision Pro. This year, while we haven't heard of any rumors of new hardware coming at WWDC 2024, we may see some new Macs updated with M3 at WWDC. Specifically, the Mac Mini getting updated with M3 and M3 Pro, the Mac Studio getting M3 Max and M3 Ultra, and the Mac Pro getting M3 Ultra as well, though none of this is for sure as of right now. Once again, WWDC is a software-first event. So that's what to expect at Apple's WWDC 2024 event in June. While it may not be as massive as last year's WWDC, it's definitely going to be a very exciting WWDC.